All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 21st, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody in digital land. All right, everybody in podcast land, cyber land, everybody out there. Thank you for subscribing to my content. Thank you for finding the value in it. Again, I thank you so much. Thanks for leaving the kind comments. I hope to provide value in my content every day. All right, so let's start this off. My SPY pivot this morning hasn't changed. 566.30. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are still in daily downtrends. All except Diamond Dow made inside days. That's lower highs and lower lows. Closing near, on, or over their pinch traps, but under their 17 EMAs. Diamond Dow made a higher high and a higher low, closing over pinch trap but underneath the 17 EMA. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Gold and silver both in daily uptrends. Silver made a lower low and a lower high, closing inside a bearish trap over the 17 EMA. Gold made an inside day. That's a lower high, higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. USO in a daily downtrend made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap and over the falling 17 EMA. Okay, that's pretty big when you trade, when you close over the falling 17. UNG made a lower high and a lower low, closing below a bearish trap under the rising 17 EMA. US dollar index in a downtrend still. We love that. Closed near the 103.78 area, making a bear flag there on the US dollar. Max pain for SPY today is 580 with a put to call ratio of 2 puts to each call that expires today at 4:15. All right, so we could see a put squeeze. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at some charts. First chart, look at SPY on the 10-minute. Okay, we've got the price action candle and the 3 EMA, all right? The 3 is the yellow line. See how the yellow line right here crosses up and over? So we have a 10-minute uptrend going into the close, okay? So the yellow line is up over the 8 EMA, 10-minute uptrend going into the close. On the 2-hour, okay, yellow line again up over the white 8 EMA. All right, so that is 2-hour uptrend going into the close. All right, the pink line is the 2025 low anchored VWAP. That's the pink line right there. Okay, the burnt brown line is just regular VWAP. This is anchored VWAP. The burnt brown is just regular daily VWAP. All right, on the daily chart, we've got yesterday's candle. Let me make sure I find the right one. Right there. Okay, so inside day, lower high, higher low, closing just over a pinch trap here. Okay, over the 2025 low anchored VWAP, under, see the red dots, the falling 17 EMA there. Okay, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's this green line right through there. Okay, take this out, we don't need it. All right, price action over the midpoint of the quad lines, up in quadrant 3. Okay, price action moves up and gives it up, so that's just neutral right there. Okay, so there's SPY. Let's visit the game plan real quick. All right, game plan. 566.30. Okay, that's the pivot. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Okay, we're looking for a green 10-minute candle up over where we left off yesterday. I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at a gap down. Very well could fill gap again today. We'll see. We gapped down yesterday and we filled gap. I'm not sure we're going to fill gap this time. We'll see what happens. All right, 580 is supposedly the max pain for today. Doesn't seem like they're going for it, not yet at least. All right, so price action, you can see is currently, all right, I'll turn that pre-market on. You can see currently underneath the 2025 low anchored VWAP. That is bearish. All right, so you can see price action here. We'll have a green erases red event if price gets back up over 569.30. Okay, and then red erases green event. All right, price underneath this area right here, 564, and it's looking more like the red erases green. So when we open up this morning, we're going to look for a red candle, all right, underneath here. Okay, just can't be a bottoming tail candle, all right, and that's going to have that would be a red candle with more tail than body and wick. Okay, can't be a bottoming tail candle, can't be a spinning top or a doji, all right, because those have equal wicks and tails on each side, spinning tops and dojis, all right, and it can't be a green candle, all right. So I don't want a green candle if I'm selling short, all right, because number one, it's showing me that the bulls are in control. That's why it's a green candle. So I don't want to enter in on something where the bulls have strength. I want to enter in on something where I'm seeing bears have strength. So I want a red candle. But it can't be any red candle. Like I said, can't have more tail than body and wick, because that shows bullish control of that candle. All right? Can't be a doji candle. Okay? See this little squat thing right here? That's a doji candle right there. That one, that's a doji. That's more like a spinning top. All right, so you see those two, they got equal tails, body and wicks. Okay, so that's showing me that bulls and bears are agreeing on price right there. Okay, see these candle, this green one, if that was red, all right, either one of those two, those don't work. Okay, because that's showing me that there's no dominance being made by the bears. All right, so those will be my entries. Same thing on QQQ. We'll go visit that real quick right now. QQQ down in the same area, again, underneath 577.70. All right, we'll be looking for the same candles as we look for on SPY. Now, for both SPY and QQQ, I want 7 DTE options that expire next Friday, or 14 DTE options, days till expiration, Friday options that expire the Friday after. All right, so either next Friday or the Friday after. Okay, so, and I like them $2 to $5 out of the money because they're a little bit cheaper. All right, and they offer a little bit less risk. All right, so QQQ and SPY. Those are the game plans there. All right, so let's take a look at QQQ on the daily chart. And you can see, just like SPY, it was an inside day. All right, higher low, lower high, closing inside bearish trap, under the falling 17. All right, under the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. FNGA. All right, now we watch FNGA because FNGA has the top 10 weighted stocks or securities inside QQQ and SPY. So when this moves, it pretty much jerks the SPY in whatever direction, and the QQQ in whatever direction this is moving in. Okay, so price action here is an inside day. Again, lower high, higher low, closing. Just going to call it inside a bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right. Not quite in the lower third, but if it gets in the lower third, that's bearish. All right. QQQ. What happened to my quad lines here? All right. Here we go. QQQ down here in the lower third would be bearish. And I'm just going to call it in the lower third right down here. So QQQ bearish. SPY neutral, FNGA is bearish down here. It's not in the lower third though. Okay, if it's in the lower third, it's bearish. Right now, just neutral. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow got a higher low and a higher high, closing over a trap. Okay, but under the falling 17. Okay, over the midpoint, under the uptrend line. That's this gold line right here, under the uptrend line. Pink wavy line is the all-time high anchored VWAP. Under that all-time high anchored VWAP, under the falling 17, see that's the red dots right there. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Just neutral right here at the midpoint. Okay, let's take a look at IWM. IWM, inside day. Pretty sure that's an inside day. Let me double check it. All right, high is 207.68. High is 207.30. Okay, inside day, lower high, higher low, closing over a little bullish trap here under the falling 17. Okay, under, all right, all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line under the uptrend line down here in quadrant 1. Okay, that's bearish. Okay, price moves up and gives it up. That's neutral. You give it up and more, that's bearish. You can see where we go up, we give it up. And now we give up more, so now we're bearish down here, IWM. All right, let's take a look at our technicals, T2122. We find ourselves yesterday ripping from the midpoint back into the buy zone, making a higher high. There's a high, we made a higher high, ripping into the buy zone. We got tossed out of there by the bears, and made a visit back to the midpoint, our point of origin, and from there we just kind of melted up a little bit right through here, right into the end of day. Hopefully the bulls can recover this, creating a higher low here. We have a low there. We created a higher low. Like to see the bulls recover this and start knocking on the door of the buy zone. We'll see what happens. All right, that's T2122. So most of the day we just chomped around inside the buyer's chop zone. Okay, on T2123. Okay, we have consolidation. Okay, over prior consolidation. Okay, see how we have consolidation right here, and then we have price jumps up and then consolidates over prior consolidation, and then we jump up again and we consolidate over prior consolidation. That's bullish. All right, and now we consolidate again, we jump up again and consolidate over prior consolidation right here. Okay, so that's bullish right there, but we're only on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, that's the caveat. Okay, we're approaching that falling 200 SMA. So you can see price action here for T2123. Okay, green from the beginning of the day, and then a rest, and then some more rally going into the end of the day. Okay, so that's T2123, 15-minute chart. I'm going to take off the boxes, going to pan out. You can see from the bigger picture we have a move down, all right, and a bear flag. It's a hockey stick. Okay, there's the handle, there's the hockey stick blade right there. Okay, price action. Okay, we've got a bearish gap up here. We're still not filling any bearish gaps. Okay, we're just now making higher highs. We're now beginning to make higher lows and higher highs. See that high? We didn't break that until, I think wasn't break that till the 20th yesterday, right there, where we broke that high. So we just now beginning to make higher highs, making higher lows and higher highs, putting T2123 now in an uptrend as opposed to a downtrend. All right, you can see us closing in on this falling 200 SMA. We're caught underneath two prior all-time highs and the all-time high right now. Take a look at the same chart on the 3-bar, and you can clearly see the hockey stick right there. Price action. Okay, 3 more red candle bars again underneath this falling 17. That's the red dots. Okay, still underneath that fading 200 SMA. Okay, price made a lower high and a lower low. All right, what we don't want is consolidation and then make another lower low. All right, and that's kind of what it's looking like. We'll see what happens. T2123. Right now, we're bullish on the 15-minute. All right, but we're definitely not bullish on the 3-bar chart. Okay, you can see price underneath two of the prior all-time highs right here. And this is the all-time high up there. Okay, still bearish on the bigger time frame. All right, on the smaller time frame, 15, we are bullish. All right, on the smaller time frame, okay, notice if you squeak down in here, we had a bullish trap that got filled by the bears. So we're not getting any bullish traps that bears aren't filling. So you can see bears are still operating through here. Okay, on T2123. Let's take a look at FNGU price action for yesterday, which was the 20th. You can see we rallied in the morning and we gave it up all afternoon, falling back on this 200 SMA. Looking like the 200 SMA is hooking. I like to see a catch of FNGA price action and provide a higher low and turn around and make a higher high. We failed to make the higher high yesterday. All right. And now they're coming back to test the lows. If the lows don't hold, then we go down to the next low and then the next low and the next low and so on. All right. So we're testing the lows right now. You can see again. All right. We bounced off the lows at the close of yesterday. And we're back here in the morning checking them in the pre-market. That's FNGA. Let's take a look at a few sectors here. We need this to perform bullish if we want SPY and QQQ to perform bullish. Let's take a look at a few sectors. XLE. All right. Here's XLE on the daily chart. Here's price action for XLE. Okay. Got a higher low and a higher high, closing over a trap over the 17 EMA right there. Okay. Over downtrend line 1, that's the goal line. Over downtrend line 2, that's the goal line right there. Okay. Over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line over the midpoint. Okay. We are bullish. We are now in an uptrend. We are making higher highs, making higher lows and higher highs. XLE is bullish. All right, up here in the upper third, that's XLE. Let's take a look at UNG, high flyer here. UNG yesterday was right here, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA, over the uptrend line, okay, over the 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line. Up here in the upper third, that's bullish. All right, that's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. USO, nice candle yesterday. Higher low, higher high. Closing over the trap, over the falling 17, that's the red dots. Okay, closing over the uptrend line, that's the goal line. Closing under the midpoint. Okay. So again, they move up, they give it up, that's neutral. They move down and they give it up again. We're just neutral. USO, just neutral through here. Okay, that's USO. Let's take a look at precious metals, GLD. Okay, yesterday we made a lower high and a lower low, an inside day, lower high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap. Over a rising 17, that's these green dots. Okay. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Remember the day before, they just made a new all-time high. It's bullish up here. Let's take a look at SLV. SLV got a lower high and a lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17. Over, this is a 12-year high anchored VWAP. That pink line right there. seeing them hold for 4 or 5 days up here in quadrant 4. That is enlightening. All right, that's nice. See, they moved up here in the upper third and held for 4 or 5 days. That's bullish. Closing and doing the same thing again. All right, up here in quadrant 4. Again, that's very bullish. The all-time high for SLV is 48 area. Right now, we're just at 30. This is looking really nice. I would expect this to probably run up here and challenge this 12-year high anchored VWAP, or this 12-year high we made earlier in October. All right, this is looking good. Making higher lows and making higher highs. Silver's bullish. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors. We'll start off with SMH. All right, SMH got an inside day, closing over a trap under the falling 17. Okay, under the pink line, that's the all-time high anchored VWAP. SMH is the semiconductors index. Underneath this midpoint, right there. No longer in the lower third. Okay, SMH continues to move up and give it up. All right, so that's neutral. And they moved down and they gave it up. So that's neutral. They are in a downtrend because they are making lower lows. Okay, there's SMH. Let's go look at the cousin to SMH. That's the XLK. All right, price action for the XLK. Yesterday, lower low, lower high, closing under a trap, under a falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, the 17 is the red dots. All right, the VWAP is the pink line underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Underneath the gold line, that's the uptrend line. Down here, no longer in the lower third. Okay, they move up, they give it up. They move down, they give it up. This is just neutral, XLK. Let's take a look at XLF. Here's our financials. Got a higher low and a higher high closing. Okay, over the trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP up here in the upper third, quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. Okay, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. That's bullish. IYT, transports. We've got price action. We've got, I'm just going to call it an inside day. I'm not positive. All right. We got definitely got a higher low. We closed inside a bearish trap, closing under a falling 17, closing under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line, under the uptrend line, under the midpoint, in the lower third, down here. Okay, so that's bearish. Again, you move up and you give it up and more. Okay, you move up and then you give it up, that's neutral. You give it up and more, that's bearish. Okay, you move up and you hold the higher ground, that's bullish. Okay, if you move up and then you give it up, again, that's neutral. You give it up and more, that's bearish. All right. So IYT. So we don't have the transports on our side. Okay, it's nice to have a nice robust rally. You kind of need the transports. You need the financials. The financials are bullish. The transports are definitely not bullish. The SMH is neutral and the XLK is neutral. Okay, so you need technology. All right, semiconductors. All right. You need the transports and the financials. We only have one of the three working right now. All right, so it's hence we're not getting a rally. All right, so we need somebody to spin this around. All right, so that's what we got right now. Let's take a look at the economic package. All right, we have one good thing going on here. We got the falling dollar in a bear flag, and we broke minor support up here. That's these two peaks. Okay, right there, we're underneath those two peaks. We're making lower highs and lower lows. A weak dollar is good because it's easier. It makes us more competitive, and it makes it easier for cheaper. All right, when our goods and services are cheaper, again, we're competing with other people that do the same goods and services, sell the same goods, perform the same services. When we have a weak dollar, it makes our goods and services more competitive because the conversion rate, all right, from a foreign country, remember they have to convert their currency to ours. If we have a strong currency, all right, it's going to cost them more to purchase our goods and services. Having a weak currency makes it easier for them to pay. Dollar's in a downtrend. It's working on our side right now. You don't want a strong dollar. When you have a falling dollar, you pretty much look for a bullish rally. Right now, we got a falling dollar, but we don't have the bullish rally. All right. So the dollar's falling. That's good. All right. Just need to turn price around. All right. Let's take a look at Max Pain. Max Pain for today is 580. We have 2 puts to each call that expires today for the SPY. So SPY Max Pain is 580. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere near it. All right. And we have 2 puts to each call that expire today. All right, so possible put squeeze. We're not going in the right direction currently. We'll see what happens, where they open it up and where they rip it to. Economic calendar for today, quadruple witching. That means we got probably monthly options, weekly options, daily options, and probably quarterly options that expire today. All right, it's quadruple witching. Rig count at 1 o'clock. After that, it's a really light day. All right, be very volatile today with the quadruple witching. All right, let's take a look at earnings calendar. Earnings calendar, again, some familiar names, but nothing that's really going to move the markets. We've all heard of NEO and Carnival. Not nearly enough market cap to affect the market. I'm sure they'll affect their sectors, but right now, not going to be market moving. But we do have earnings coming out. Familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Being since we trade SPY and QQQ mainly, if it's not going to move the markets, it really becomes irrelevant to us. And for Monday, they're just not ready to give it to us yet. All right. So that's it. I'll take questions in the room. If there's no questions, I'll render my video, get it posted so everybody can see it. All right. Other than that, I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes, and we'll kick the day off.